this has to do with if they buy land, how they subdivide the habitable portion of the land off, or habitable
But,
buildings.
I mean, if these resolutions aren't passed, does it have any effect?
If they're not passed, probably not. They just, at this point, they're just showing support for the resolution and for the program.
Okay.
And that we would,
In other words, if
the
the
town of
town,
Olive would be a part of that program.
if the town of Olive does not pass it, if the, I can't think of any land, too many pieces anyway. It's just that it won't happen in town of Olive, the rest of the counties can do it, other towns that pass this can do it.
If the person that owns a large parcel and sells it to the land trust, then they subdivide it and the land trust has the cost of it, then that gets added into the DEP's price, or?
I would assume so, yeah. I don't know that to be
So
true.
it's a legal way for them to pay for the subdivision so that the person.
Right,
I
Because-
believe what happens is-
because they've been getting a lot of flack over it because they've done it in a few instances without this.
If they subdivide, say they pay $100,000 for the land, it costs them $6,000 to subdivide it. When they sell it to the city, it'd be $106,000. The city's still gonna pay all the free.
So instead
The
of,
land, these land for public trust organizations are just middlemen. Am I correct, Tim? Help me out here. Tim's an expert on this.
There are too many tables. Yeah, what it is EPA back in 2000.
Excuse me, for you that don't know, Tim's a corporate counsel for CWC.
EPA back in 2002 told or 2007 told the city that they got to start using land. They got to start figuring out how to use land trust in their land acquisition program. The state told the city the same thing in 2010 when they gave the city a permit to buy, renewed their permit to buy land up here. The city can't buy land up here without the state permit. What this is for, and I'll say big parcels, I won't use the word large with parcel. But when the city wants to, the city solicited this property already, and the property owner has either told them to get lost, I don't want to deal with you, or more likely never returned the call or never returned the letter. It allows, if the town board passes it, it would allow a land trust to approach that property owner of the big parcel and purchase it from that person, subdivide it so that the house gets sold on the open market, because you're correct, Bruce, the city can't buy anything with a habitable dwelling. And the vacant portion goes to the city. Some controls that we negotiated into this is that the land trust can't add any deed restrictions, any deed covenants to the property. So they can't buy it and say, no hunting, no fishing, no whatever, no tree cutting. On the parcel, more importantly, on the parcel with the house on it, they can't have any deed restrictions either. They have to come to the planning board for the subdivision, just like any other property owner. The city of New York's going to be paying their carrying costs. Real property taxes are going to be paid the whole time this is going on. And the house, when the land trust goes to sell it, has to be listed on the open market and sold to fair market value.
So, but I thought New York City wasn't allowed to solicit you to buy your property.
The city's allowed to solicit the property owners with the big parcels. However, they can't buy anything with a house on it. So what happens is the property owner then has to go and subdivide, or simply do a conservation easement with the city.
so this makes it easier for the property owner to, if this is what their desire is, to
Yep.
sell the property to the city without incurring the cost of subdividing first.
And correct, and sometimes it takes, most of the time it takes a lot longer to get payment out of the city than it would to get payment out of the land trust.
So it's more of a protecting of property owners.
Yeah. It's still voluntary, it's voluntary on the part of the town, it's voluntary on the part of the property owners, with no,
So who does this resolution benefit, really?
Property owner.
The owner of the property who may want to sell it.
Does it really, or does it,
That's all,
or does it enable the city to purchase more land?
Both.
No, it's always a willing buyer, willing seller. It makes it easier if you're a willing seller, that you have a habit of dwelling on the property, to sell to the city, get your money faster and be done. Well, actually, you're selling to the land trust, who will then in turn sell to the city. The land trust buys with the intent to sell to the city. They have to sell to the city.
I'm giving you maps that were in that memo. I got a copy of the full memo in the back. If anybody's got a sign here tonight, you can be happy to read it. What it is we're talking bigger parcels, 200, I believe it's 200 or 300
I
acres.
think they were saying two.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a couple, and some of the priority areas, it's a higher it's a lower acreage, and some of the others, it's a higher acreage. Olive is in one of the higher priority areas. You can see them in the red, those are the basins they want. There might be enough for Sylvia, I think, if I made the copies right at work. But we're talking larger parcels, a couple hundred, bigger parcels, sorry, a couple hundred acres at a minimum. And it's folks that either haven't gotten back to the city or just told them no for a variety of reasons. CWC, I'm here as me because I told Bert that I'd swing by if there were any questions because I know it's complicated. But the one thing we made sure of is that it's up to the town, so you all can weigh the pros and cons and make the decision, but it's not going to happen without a town board vote.
Right. And I just want to say that we're pretty lucky to have Tim in town here because being their corporate counsel, he knows a lot of the ins and outs. He deals with this every single day, so thank you, Tim.
Can we table this one to next month so I can get that information to read?
Well, I'm gonna second it, and then if you want to take a vote, we can, and if not, because it really doesn't.
There's a time thing on this, isn't there?
There's a deadline on it, and the water supply permit that the state set. I think you're right at it, if not a couple days past it, in which case, right now, so it's I got two of the, or whatever it's worth, I think I got two of the memo. Copies of the same thing, and it's over 300 acres in Olive. It's 200
Oh, okay, I thought it was
some of the other.
Or two of it.
It's two in some of the higher
I
priority
did.
basins. It's
The reason I seconded this, the reason I'm very comfortable with it, I've been dealing with it every third Monday of the month for months and months and months up to the CWT meetings, so I really don't have any concerns with it. I think it's actually good for the potential property seller.
Well, first of all, I don't think there's that kind of property left in town here to sell like that, but the other thing is that if they can't do it this way, which is the easy way, the seller could just subdivide it, buildings off of it and sell it to the city anyway.
Just
So,
takes him longer, it takes the
Take
person
longer.
longer, and it costs the individual more money.
okay, well, I still have the resolution on table. I have a second. You want to take a roll call vote, please? As long as there's a deadline on this, Peter, or else I would definitely, let you have your month.
Councilmember Van Buren,
I'll say yes, but I'd like to have more information on it.
Board Member Burkhardt,
Yes.
Councilmember London.
Yes.
Councilmember Frydell,
I'd like to abstain.
Did you hear that?
yes. And Supervisor Lightfield.
Yes.
Bert, I know that the city needs some land trust or any land trust that would work with the town in terms of the resolution. If there's not one named, it's whatever one the town wants to work with.
Okay, moving along. Hi, Ben, how are you?